Aids to navigation. We are going to look at lateral aids, non-lateral aids, special marks, informational marks, and ranges. We'll start with lateral marks, but let's back up and get what is the definition of an aid to navigation, commonly referred to as an ATON. There's also private aids to navigation called PATONs, private aids to navigation. Let's read the definition right from NOAA. Aids to navigation. According to NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, ATONs, or aids to navigation, are devices or systems external to vessels that are designed to assist mariners in determining their position, a safe course, or warn them of dangers of obstructions. And we are going to start with lateral aids to navigation. I'm going to get you that definition right here. Lateral aids to navigation are generally used for well-defined channels to indicate the route to be followed. These aids show the sides of a navigable channel, mark junctions and forks or splits in the channel, indicate the safe side to pass a hazard to navigation, and mark the safe center line on wide bodies of water. Good. Lateral aids to navigation are either buoys or beacons. A buoy can be lighted or unlighted. An unlighted buoy is called a can or a nun, and a lighted buoy is just that, a lighted buoy. And then you have your beacons. A lighted beacon is simply referred to as a light. An unlighted beacon is referred to as a day beacon. These are where common acronyms come in, the ones you always hear. Red, right, returning. That's red aids on the right as you're returning from open water back to shore. So red, right, returning. There's another one that we haven't heard as much, but it is a fantastic memory aid. It's RENT Cogs. This acronym, RENT Cogs, you can answer all of the aid to navigation questions with this acronym. So it's very useful, and I suggest you commit it to memory. RENT. RENT. What does this stand for? Red, even, none, triangle. On the starboard side, the color is red. The number associated with it is even. If it's an unlighted buoy, it's a none. The beacon is a triangle. Cogs. Cogs. Can, odd, green, square. This describes the green port side marks. If it's an unlighted buoy, it's a can. The number associated with them are odd. They're green in color. The beacon's a square. Rent. Cogs. Red, even, none, triangle. Can, odd, green, square. These describe the lateral aids to navigation. I'm going to bring you in closer. We're going to look at starboard marks, port marks, flash patterns, and then preferred channel marks. Let's do it. Here we are. Starboard side, even numbered aids. We come in close. Here's your buoys. Unlighted buoy is referred to as a nun, has a conical top. Lighted buoys, they are red, even, nuns, and triangles. On a chart, you'll see it gives the characteristics. Red, 8 flashes, red every 4 seconds. For the nun, it'll just say red, none, 6. See this open circle? This means that it's moored to the bottom and its position may shift based on the road for that mooring. These are the beacons, and you can see that a beacon with a light on it is just called a light. It's got a closed dot. This means it's driven into the ground. It's not moving. It's right into the seabed or even on the shore. And this magenta flare shows that it's lighted. This magenta flare shows that the buoy is lighted. And the beacon is here. It's a triangle. Again, red, rent. Red, even, none, triangle. It's a triangle. It's got an even number. It's red. Red 2. It's a day beacon. Let's look at the port side. Port side odd numbered aids. Again, here's our buoys, right? We got buoys and beacons. The buoys, if it's unlighted, it's a can. Cog, can, odd, green, square. It's can, odd number, it's green. The day beacon's a square. Again, open circle. This diamond shows green. Green, can, 9. If it's lighted, again, I have open circle with the magenta disc. It's a lighted buoy. It's green, 9, flashes green every 6 seconds. These will be on a chart. Sometimes they're hard to see. There's a lot on a chart. Here's the beacons. The lighted, so beacon's driven right into the ground. It's got a closed circle. Magenta flare shows it's lighted. It's called a light at that point. Flashes green every 6 seconds. This is the light characteristic. Day beacon. Cog. Can odd green square. Can. Odd number. Green in color. It's a square. Green 5. These numbers go up. When you go from seaward toward a harbor or into a channel, the numbers go up. Now let's look at the light patterns. Flashes 2, flashing, occulting, quick flashing, isophase. Where it's green, it's said to be lighted. Where it's black, it's said to be eclipsed. So it's flash, flash, eclipse. Flash, flash, eclipse. And for flashing, it'll say flash, eclipse for a certain number of seconds. Flash, eclipse for a certain number of seconds. So in this case, it would flash, green, and then eclipse. So every 6 seconds, it'll flash green. You can count 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, and you see that flash, and it'll repeat. Occulting, it's lighted for longer than it's eclipsed. Quick flashing, these usually happen near a bend in the channel. Flash, 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 flash. Isophase. Iso means the same. So it's lighted for the same amount of time that it's eclipsed. Lighted, same amount of time it's eclipsed. These are the flash patterns. There's one more here, preferred channel. So this uses the same rent-cog principle, red, even, none, triangle. Red, and in this case, they're lettered. Here's a none buoy and a triangle. We go by the color of the top band here. So the color of the top band is red. This unlighted buoy is a none. Lighted buoy again. So the preferred channel is marked by the topmost band. And here's what it'll look like on the chart. Red, green, they may be lettered. B, flashes, dedicated flash pattern of 2 plus 1. Red every 6 seconds. Again, their light will be the same color as their topmost band. Here's that 2 plus 1 flash pattern. And the port will adhere to this rent-cogs principle as well. Can odd green square. It's a can if it's unlighted. The topmost band is green, square beacon. And there's symbols on the chart again. That's wrong. That's not supposed to be like this. This should just be an unlighted buoy. I'll change that. Cool. So here's the magenta flare that shows that it's lighted. Green, red. A, flashes 2 plus 1, green, every 6 seconds. These are preferred channel. Let's take a look at these on the chart. So this is the Block Island chart. And as we come in, here's a safe water mark. If you're coming in from big water further out, you hit this safe water mark, and then you can proceed to here. And this is interesting because there's 2 channels. See, there's 3 buoys. So there's 2 channels. And right in the middle, this is a preferred channel. Green, red, BIS, flashes 2 plus 1 green every 6 seconds. So if it's green, the preferred channel's on the port. And here's a red, flashes red every 4 seconds. So you could think it green, red, preferred channel here, coming right through here. Well, there's a secondary channel. Here is a green, flashes green every 4 seconds. It's got a gong. So now you'd use the secondary band, the red, and come into a secondary channel, most likely coming over here. So preferred channel, secondary channel. That's what they look like on the chart. From here, we'll go into non-lateral aids to navigation. We're talking isolated danger, safe water, special marks, and information and regulatory marks. Let's define a non-lateral aid to navigation. Non-lateral aids to navigation provide information unrelated to channel boundaries, offering warnings, guidance, or marking hazards rather than indicating the sides of a navigable channel. Good, that's pretty straightforward. So this first one, isolated danger, is pretty self-explanatory. It marks isolated dangers. I'm going to bring you in closer and we'll take a good look at isolated danger marks. Here's our isolated danger marks. There's no numbers, but they may be lettered, as you can see. And they have this flash pattern, flash 2. And this one happens every 5 seconds. It has a white light on it. And they have these 2 balls on top. Here's a mistake here. There should be no magenta disc here. This is an unlighted buoy. It should look like this. Just open circle, no magenta disc for an unlighted buoy. I'm going to read to you a little bit about these isolated danger marks. And the sentences are weird and may sound redundant, but bear with me, they're important. Isolated danger. Buoys which mark isolated danger are painted with alternating red and black bands. They mark isolated dangers and have a light characteristic of flashing 2 group flashing. Buoys which mark isolated danger have a white light if lighted. In addition, they have a shape on top consisting of 2 balls and may be lettered. Now the other side of the coin, safe water marks. I'm going to read to you about safe water marks, and then we'll take a look close up at this sheet. A safe water mark can be passed close aboard on either side and painted with red and white vertical stripes. They have a white light that flashes Morse A light characteristic. A safe water day mark has an octagonal shape. A lighted safe water mark may be fitted with a spherical top mark to aid in its identification and may be lettered. Let's come in close and take a look at a safe water mark on this sheet as well as the chart. Safe water marks. No numbers, may be lettered. They have a white light that flashes Morse code A right here. Dot dash eclipse dot dash eclipse. They may be lettered. Here's their symbol on the chart. They may be fitted with a red top mark. Their day beacon is octagonal. Excellent. Let's just jump right into the chart. So they mark where there's safe water all around. So when you're entering Block Island Sound and approaches and you want to get up into one of these 2 channels, see these 3 buoys that we talked about? There's 2 channels. You come to the safe water mark, and here we can see it's red, white, flashes Morse A, it's lettered MP, and it's got a whistle for fog signal. There's our safe water mark. Special marks. These aids indicate special areas or features such as anchoring, traffic separation, fishnet area, cables or pipelines, military exercise areas, and jetties, as well as dumping grounds, as we'll see on the Block Island chart. Let me read you a couple more sentences here. Again, these sentences are important. Lighted special mark buoys must show a light characteristic of fixed or flashing yellow light. Unlighted special mark buoys are yellow and may be nuns or cans. Both lighted and unlighted special marks may be lettered. Let's bring you into the chart, and we're going to look at 3 special marks on this Block Island chart that mark a dumping ground. Here's the special marks. They can be cans, nuns. See that depicted? Can A, yellow can A, yellow nun C, day beacon, yellow A, beacon. Or they can be lighted buoys. See the magenta disc? Yellow B, flashes. Always a yellow light. It's either fixed, which means it's just on, or flashing, yellow. Shape optional, but selected to be appropriate for the position of the mark in relation to the navigable waterway. Now, on the chart, check this out. Here's a special area. Dumping ground. Depths from surveys of 1971, 83, and 84. There's silt on the bottom. So if we look, these are yellow, NL, flashes yellow every 2.5 seconds. Yellow, NDA, flashes yellow every 4 seconds. Yellow, ODAS, flashes yellow every 4 seconds. These are marked with private too. Look at that. Private, private. Interesting. So here are some examples of special buoys on the Block Island chart. Information and regulatory marks. White and orange information and regulatory marks may indicate exclusion areas, restricted operations, and danger. Lighted white and orange information and regulatory marks have a white light. They may display any light characteristic except quick flashing and flashing 2. A white buoy with an orange square on it is a good example of an information and regulatory buoy. Let's come in close and check these out. Here's the image for your typical information and regulatory mark. And you'll notice a note, when lighted, information and regulatory marks may display any light rhythm except quick flashing, flashing 2 and Morse A. So it's a white light, here's their beacon. I'm sure you'll have seen these, right? Exclusionary, this is like your swim area. Restricted operations, slow, no wake. Danger, it's marking some type of danger. Then they can have information within these, right? And let's say you're on the ICW, these may show up as signs that have more information, like restrictions because it's manatee season, things of that nature. Let's wrap up this aids to navigation video with a short review. We have lateral marks, green port marks, red starboard marks, preferred channel marks, right? These mark the sides of a channel. And then we have non-lateral aids. We have our isolated danger, safe water, and special. Take the quiz for this section a bunch of times and make sure you have a firm handle on the questions related to aids to navigation. We should be getting all of these questions right on the exam. We'll see you on the next video. Study hard.